after growing up in Fort Worth, all my life, my family's from Fort Worth. Um, I ended up making the decision after graduating from Dunbar High School, being raised in Stop Six, being raised on the South Side, Butler Housing Projects. I made the decision to come into the Air Force. There were very few options for young black men at the time. Obviously, that's the case on many occasions, but for me, I think the best route was for the Air Force. 'Cause my father was also Air Force. He did 4 years in, so he started putting bugs in my ear. But I tell you, man, after leaving Fort Worth and then going to the Air Force, spending 22 years in the Air Force, when it was time to hang it up and leave the Air Force, that was probably one of the toughest times of my life. I mean, bar none, man, it was tough because you're talking about a kid that left Fort Worth at the age of 18, uh, went into this whole new world, this new way of living for 22 years. Then one day deciding to go back, for from where you came, essentially, and it was tough. It was a fear of you know of me trying to how can I put this? There was a fear of me knowing that I knew and trying to incorporate that or blend in with society, with normal society. That was tough, man. Because I knew I was a professional, Air Force. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had it, but man, the confidence thing wasn't there because I had it in the Air Force. So coming out to the civilian world was very stressful. I mean, I even remember extra hospital visits and stuff like that for stomach aches, and I think they thought I had an ulcer at one time, but it was just the nerves, man. And just to kind of give you an idea of the thought process behind some folks before they get out of the military, some folks who really just hang on to the very end, of military. And I'm not talking about those folks that actually make a serious career out of it. I'm talking about, those folks that y'all know who y'all are, that just hang on to the very end. Um, you see a lot of that, man. And unfortunately, those are the same folks that don't do so well after the Air Force or after the military. They tend to cling on to the military. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's where a lot of, the resources and support are. But if you've gotten education, you understand that your worth in the world, as a former military member, um, if you could truly understand how valuable you are to the workplace, man, I think that, it would ease some of those nerves. But for me, it was tough um, getting out. The best decision I made at the time. The economy wasn't even good. I mean, I had people in the Air Force asking me, coming up to me saying, I'm talking senior leaders who really didn't want me to go. They were saying things like, "What do you mean you're getting out? What are you gonna do?" In my mind, I'm thinking, "What?" I'm thinking, "Hell, I'm gonna do what I did before I came in here. I'm gonna eat." You know what I'm saying? I came from the bottom, so hey, this ain't nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was an interesting time transitioning back home. I didn't go back to Fort Worth. I actually ended up settling in Austin, Texas. Not for lack of love of Fort Worth, but Austin had this military tone to state government down here. This is where everything happens down here, state capital, the state government. So there's this discipline and this order that you're used to in the military, and I thought that would be a good fit for me. And I literally came down here one day to Austin um, after I got out, spent a little time with my parents, but came down here to Austin. I'll never forget. I drove downtown Austin, and it's a true story. I looked over at a building, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna get me an office in that corner building right up there, and I'll be damn. Within a matter of what, 5, 6 years, 5 years maybe. I had that corner office, man. Had the corner office right there at 1700 North Congress, the Texas Veterans Land Board, Texas General Land Office. Ended up being state director for those folks, and so, um, like I said, getting out was good for me at the time. Everybody is different. Um, I don't knock anyone for wanting to stay in. I just say that my thing is just know your worth, know that you're more valuable than your fear, and so with that, till next time. Hey, Eric Brown, Mobile Media. Y'all take care. Bye bye.